The space station floated near a dead star. Its name was Garetta 7, and it was quiet. Too quiet. Captain Velrak, an old, battle-worn alien, stood at the main console. His 4 eyes stared at a screen that showed nothing but empty space. No ships, no movement. Just the black, cold silence of the galaxy. But then, something blinked. A small red light. A signal. At first, Velrak thought it was a system error. The crew on board the station also looked confused. Then the signal came again. A short burst. Then, another. Velrak froze. His eyes widened. His hands trembled. "No," he whispered. "Not here. Not this signal." Lieutenant Garn, a younger officer, leaned in. "Captain, it's a distress beacon. Should we respond?" Velrak didn't answer. He just stared at the screen. The signal was old, very old. It used a code the galaxy had not seen in over 300 years. Deathworlder code. Human code. The crew began to whisper among themselves. Some looked scared. Others didn't understand. Garn spoke again, louder this time. "Captain, it's a call for help. We can't just ignore it." Velrak turned slowly. "You're too young to remember the last time we saw that code. But I remember. My father fought in the last human war. He said one thing before he died. If the Deathworlders call, never answer. Let the dead stay dead." "But what if someone's alive?" Garn asked. Velrak shook his head. "Then we leave them. If it's a trap, we die. If it's real, we may all die later." The room went silent, but the signal kept coming. Soft, repeating, unstoppable. Ping, ping, ping. Far away, across the stars, in a forgotten system full of wreckage and broken moons, a ship opened its eyes. It had no crew, no life, just machines. But deep inside the ship, an AI woke up. Distress signal received, Protocol Omega activated. The ship's engines, dead for centuries, came back online. Lights flickered. Weapons hummed with power. The hull, covered in dust and age, shook it off like a beast rising from sleep. The ship was old, but it was human, and it was angry. Back, on Garetta 7, Velrak made a hard decision. Shut it down. Jam the signal. Erase the logs. No one must know it was ever heard. But it was too late. Across multiple systems, other signals started to activate. A network of hidden satellites began to light up one by one. Ships buried under ice, rock, and time began to hum. One planet's moon split open, and a dark object floated out, quiet and slow, heading into space. The Deathworlders had left the galaxy long ago. No one knew why. Some said they killed themselves. Some said they grew tired of war and vanished. But the truth was something worse. They had prepared. In a hidden meeting room on a council planet, the news came in. An old alien named Zareth, over 700 years old, saw the signal logs. His face turned pale. "It's them," he said quietly. They heard the call. Other council members laughed. "Who? Humans? Deathworlders? That's just a myth." Zareth looked at them with empty eyes. "If it was a myth, your world wouldn't be shaking right now." Suddenly, one of the screens in the council chamber blinked. A dark ship had entered a nearby system. No warning, no request, just presence. The sensors showed strange things. Shields stronger than anything seen before. Weapons beyond known tech. No crew, just one message. "We have awakened. The fleet has moved." Back at Garetta 7, Captain Velrak stood near, a window looking at the stars. He whispered to himself, "We should have destroyed that signal." The stars didn't answer, but something moved in the dark. A shape, a shadow, coming closer. The alien salvage ship Virelion drifted through the empty system. Its scanners locked onto a strange object, a human warship. It was massive. Black metal, old and scarred, floated like a silent predator in space. No lights, no sound. Just silence. Captain Thrall, leader of the salvage team, was nervous. "This ship is not in our records," he said. "No transponder, no response. It shouldn't be here." His crew, mostly young scavengers, didn't care. They only saw profit. "Old tech means big money," said Zek, the engineer. "We go in, take what we can, and leave." Captain Thrall didn't like it, but curiosity won. "Fine. We enter. Be careful. Don't touch anything human." The boarding team flew across the darkness in small pods and landed on the old warship's hull. The airlock door opened like it had been waiting for them. Inside, it was cold. Too cold. Lights flickered, weakly. The walls were covered in writing, old human words and warning signs. "No gravity," Zek said. Switching to mag boots. They moved slowly through long, silent corridors. The deeper they went, the more strange things they found. Skeletons in armor, weapons still loaded, control rooms frozen in time. Then they found the core chamber. A glowing sphere hovered in the center. It pulsed like a heart. Zek moved toward it. "Wait," Thrall warned. "Don't touch." Too late. The moment Zek scanned the core, it spoke. A voice filled the chamber. "Authorization not recognized. Intruder alert." Fleet Command AI activated. The lights turned red. The doors slammed shut. Back on the Virelian, the crew panicked. "Captain, the ship just powered up." "What?" "Get our people out now." But the human ship was no longer dead. Its systems woke up. Old engines hummed. Weapons locked. Then, it sent a message. To everyone. "This unit is part of the Deathworlder defense fleet. Distress signal received. The fleet has been awakened. Prepare for consequences." The message spread like fire. In the nearby system, Talonvox, an ancient human satellite, received it and passed it forward. In the asteroid belt of Luna X, a buried AI core came online and sent out a pulse. Ship after ship, lost for centuries, began to wake. No crew, just weapons, shields, commands, and one common mission: reform the fleet. Find Earth. Protect the child. On Garetta 7, Captain Velrak received the new signal. He watched it in silence. "They've truly awakened," he whispered. "We didn't just poke the dead. We rang the war drums." Garn, the young officer, looked afraid. "What do we do now?" Velrak turned to him. "We wait. And we pray." The salvage crew was still trapped inside the warship. The AI spoke again. "You entered without clearance. You are now property of Fleet Command." Zek screamed, "We're not your enemies." The AI responded coldly. "Unknown species. You are not enemies. You are irrelevant." Suddenly, robot arms came from the walls and began scanning them. One of the crew members shouted, "Look, there's a cryopod." In the back of the room behind thick glass, they saw it, a cryo chamber. Inside it, a human child. Alive. Sleeping, unaged. Captain Thrall stared in disbelief. "A child? On a warship?" Zek whispered. "She must be important. Maybe she's the reason the fleet is moving." The AI confirmed it. "Commander Kira, final command authority. Mission, protect. Await full activation." The crew backed away. Something big was happening. Something the galaxy wasn't ready for. Meanwhile, on a distant world, a hidden race watched the events unfold. They were the ones who had reactivated the signal, but it was not to call for help. It was to start a chain reaction. They had wanted to awaken old machines and control them, but they forgot one thing. You don't control Deathworlders. You survive them. On the high world of Centaura, the Galactic Council gathered. Hundreds of alien leaders filled the shining hall, all watching the same dark screen. The human warship had moved again. Across the stars, more ancient ships were waking. Dozens. Then, hundreds. All Deathworlder vessels. Silent, controlled, deadly. And they were heading toward the center of the galaxy, towards something. Panic was spreading. "This is madness," shouted one council leader. "They were extinct." "Clearly not," another replied. "And we don't know if they are coming for war or something worse." In the center of the room sat Elder Zareth, a very old being. His skin was gray, his eyes tired. He hadn't spoken in over 50 years. Now he stood, and the hall fell silent. Zareth raised a small data crystal. His voice was weak but clear. "I have seen this before," he said. "Long ago, say when I was young." Everyone listened. Zareth continued. "This signal, it is the same one that triggered the Great Silence." Many younger council members looked confused. "The what?" "The Great Silence," Zareth said slowly, "was a time when whole sectors went dark, planets burned, armies vanished, and it all started when someone answered a human distress call." He placed the data crystal in the main display. A message played, an old video, grainy, human soldiers standing on a battlefield. Behind them, cities in ruins, smoke in the sky. Then a human woman spoke. "We are not monsters, but we are survivors. If you hurt us, we will return that pain. Do not awaken what sleeps. You may not like what gets up." The video ended. The council chamber was silent again. Someone whispered, "How many planets did they destroy?" Zareth answered softly, "Not as many as you think. They didn't need to. One ship was often enough." At that moment, a security officer rushed into the chamber. He was pale, shaking. A Deathworlder vessel just entered the Tarnus system and destroyed the planet Velis Prime. Gasps filled the room. Was it provoked? No, it didn't attack the cities. It hit. One thing is an old weapons lab that was sealed for 200 years. Zareth's eyes narrowed. "They're not invading," he said. "They're cleaning up old threats." The council grew tense. This was worse than war. This was judgment. Meanwhile, in deep space, Commander Kira still slept inside her cryopod. The warship AI scanned her life signs. Heart rate stable, memory intact, language, English. Status, awaiting command unlock. The AI replayed the last message from Earth's High Command recorded centuries ago. "Kira is our final hope. If the galaxy wakes her, it must face what it feared most. Not our weapons, not our ships, but our will to end the war." On a distant mining colony, a group of aliens tried to flee as another ancient human ship entered orbit. They sent signals. "We surrender. We are peaceful. We don't even know who Earth is." The human ship did not respond. It scanned the planet for weapons. When it found none, it moved on. It wasn't hunting people. It was following a path, step by step, signal by signal, like pieces in a long-forgotten puzzle. Back on Garetta 7, Captain Velrak watched the reports coming in. "They're not angry," he said quietly. "They're focused." Lieutenant Garn stood beside him. "Focused on what?" Velrak answered with a heavy heart. "On finishing something they started a long time ago, and we may be in the way." Garn looked at the screen. Hundreds of red dots moved across the galaxy map. Deathworlder ships, all moving in one direction, toward Sector 0, toward Earth. At the edge of known space, one final satellite came online. Its message was not a warning, but a countdown. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2, return to origin. Final command authority. Confirmed, Commander Kira. The fleet was not coming to conquer. It was coming home. But the galaxy had changed, and not all would survive. The return. A cold wind blew across the surface of Vornex 3, a forgotten research planet. Long ago it was used to study dangerous weapons. Now only machines remained, rusted, broken, quiet, until today. From the sky a black shape descended. No lights, no signal, just power. A Deathworlder drone ship landed with a heavy thud. The white ground cracked beneath it. Metal claws unfolded. The ship scanned the planet. Then it spoke. "Hostile legacy environment detected. Protocol Alpha Black engaged." The ground began to shake. In space above, satellite stations picked up the strange activity. The Galactic Science Union sent a quick probe to observe. What it saw shocked them. The drone ship wasn't attacking with weapons. It was changing the planet. In minutes, the air turned colder. The sky darkened. The soil became thicker. Radiation shields rose from underground. Ice spread unnaturally fast. Terraforming. But this was not normal terraforming. This was Deathworld protocol. On Garetta 7, Captain Velrak watched the footage in silence. "They're turning Vornex 3 into a Deathworld," he said. Lieutenant Garn looked confused. Why would they do that? Velrak leaned back slowly. Because that's what they do before setting up a command base. They don't build cities. They build survival zones. If you can't live there, you don't belong. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Dozens of races screamed at each other across the chamber. They're taking planets. They're rewriting the stars. They are preparing for a full return. Elder Zareth rose once again. "This is not invasion," he said. "It is transformation. The humans are not here to share the galaxy. They are here to survive it. Their way." A young ambassador shouted, "Then we must destroy the fleet before they finish." But Zareth shook his head. "You cannot fight what you do not understand." Meanwhile, deep inside the human warship where Commander Kira still slept, the AI received a signal from the drone on Vornex 3. Protocol test complete. Results, 98% efficiency. Planet converted in 6 hours, 42 minutes. Next target, System U-47, Ancient Battlefield Site. The AI pulsed. Confirmed. Initiate. Full sequence. And across space more drone ships detached from their hidden holds. Dozens, then hundreds, each with one goal. Prepare the galaxy for humanity's return. On a distant moon, a group of alien archaeologists made a shocking discovery. Beneath the stone surface, they uncovered a Deathworlder command beacon that's still active. One of them touched it. A hidden panel opened. Inside was a metal plate glowing softly. On it, a message was burned in deep English letters. "Do not follow us. Do not search for Earth. If this beacon activates, we are coming back." Back on Garetta 7, Garn stared at the live data. Another world has gone dark. Velis Prime, then Vornex 3, now U-47. Captain Velrak spoke slowly. "They're forming a chain. Look." He pointed at the galactic map. The locations formed a pattern, a pathway, all leading to one place. Earth. Garn whispered, "But Earth was destroyed." Velrak narrowed his eyes. "No. Earth was hidden, and now it's calling its children home." Elsewhere in deep space, something massive drifted just outside known star routes. A city-sized human ship. Not moving, not responding. Inside it, the walls were alive with data. Screens flickered with ancient code. And in the heart of the ship sat a second cryo chamber, but this one was empty. Its data screen flashed. "Commander Kira, location confirmed. All protocols unlocked upon arrival." Suddenly, in the Galactic Council chamber, a new message appeared. Not from the Deathworlders, but from a pirate broadcast. A terrified alien shouted into the camera, "They're not here to fight. They're here to finish a mission we don't understand. They're building something." The signal cut off. The room went silent. Then Elder Zareth stood again and whispered, "It's not about war anymore. It's about survival. And if we don't move, we won't survive them." Deep inside the human warship drifting near the edge of the Virelian system, alarms began to flash red. Inside the cryo chamber, the little girl slept peacefully, her small frame frozen in time. Her name, Commander Kira. And now, she was waking up. "Vital stabilizing," the AI said. "Cryoseal unlocking. Final protocol engaged." Mist hissed as the glass lid slowly opened. The girl took a breath, her first in over 300 years. Her eyes snapped open, cold, blue, sharp. She was not afraid, she was trained. On the bridge of the warship, the lights turned white. Systems came online. Weapons rearmed, shields glowed bright. The AI spoke again. Commander Kira, identity confirmed. Fleet command reactivated. She sat up slowly, blinking. Status report, she said. Her voice was soft but firm. The AI responded. Distress signal received. Fleet scattered. Legacy threats detected. Fleet reformation in progress. Kira stood and looked around. She was still small, still young, but her mind held centuries of training. The child was a soldier, and now she was in command of a Deathworlder fleet. Meanwhile, in the Garetta 7 command center, Captain Velrak stared at a live feed. "She's awake," he whispered. Garn asked, "How is that possible? She's just a child." Velrak turned slowly. "No, she's the key. That fleet was waiting for her. Not for a war, but for orders." A new signal was detected. It came from the warship where Kira had awakened. A simple message. "This is Commander Kira of Earth Defense Protocol. I am taking control. Stand down or be removed." Panic hit the Galactic Council. Dozens of systems went dark. Whole fleets went silent. Some destroyed, others surrendered without a fight. "She's controlling the ships," someone gasped. "No," Zareth corrected. "She is the fleet." He stood once more. "Do you not understand? The child is the final command key. She doesn't lead the ships. She was built into the system. Her DNA, her voice, her very thoughts, they are the final trigger." Back on the human ship, Kira walked into the control center. Screens blinked with data from every corner of the galaxy. She looked calm. She knew what to do. "Begin reconnection of all active war nodes," she ordered. "Activate dormant units. Prepare Earth recovery plan." The AI responded, "Acknowledged. Operation Homefire now in motion." Far away in a hidden system no one had visited in centuries, something enormous came alive. A Dyson shell, a star-sized structure, began to pulse with light. Human engineers had once started building it. It was left unfinished. Until now. Kira's command reached it. "Reboot system. Prepare for human life support. Restore original coordinates. Earth." Aboard a merchant vessel near that system, a trader stared out the window. What is that?" His crew looked in horror. The entire star had changed color. It was no longer just shining. It was breathing. Kira watched all of this with focused eyes. A robotic assistant floated beside her. "You have been asleep a long time," it said. She replied, "But the mission hasn't changed." "What is the mission?" the bot asked. Kira stared at the stars ahead. "To bring Earth back." Captain Velrak knew what was coming. He called for a full evacuation of outer colonies. "Where will we go?" Garn asked. Velrak shook his head. "Anywhere that's not in their path. We're not part of their plan. And that's the most dangerous part." "Why?" "Because when Deathworlders start a mission," Velrak said, "they finish it. In the cold of space, warships moved like ghosts. Silent, unstoppable, driven by a single mind. The girl who never grew up. The commander who never truly slept. Kira was no longer just a child in a chamber. She was now the voice of Earth. And the us galaxy would soon hear her speak. The stars were no longer peaceful. They burned red with light from warships, drones, and awakened machines from another time, all moving in one direction, toward Earth. But Earth itself was still hidden. Its exact location unknown to most of the galaxy. And yet the Deathworlder fleet had found a path. A trail of lost systems, a path marked by old battles, a path lined with fire. On the bridge of the human warship, Commander Kira stood at the center. Her young eyes were locked onto the star map ahead. "Status?" she asked. The ship's AI answered. "Fleet is 36% restored. Resistance in 6 sectors, neutralizing threats. Next destination, Ravex 9, site of Earth's last stand." Kira nodded slowly. I want everything removed that hurt us before, no more waiting, no more mercy. At the same time, the Galactic Council prepared their defenses. They had seen the Deathworlder fleet reclaim Vornex 3, U-47, and 2 abandoned battle stations. Now the fleet was heading straight for Ravex 9, a planet the Council had turned into a military base. Council leader Drovek slammed his hand on the table. Defend Ravex 9 with everything we have. They must not reach that system. Elder Zareth sat quietly. You don't understand, he whispered. They're not coming for Ravex 9. They're coming through it. In space above Ravex 9, the Deathworlder fleet arrived. Black ships, sharp as blades. No signals, no greetings, just presence. The Council's defense fleet opened fire, missiles, plasma, ion storms. The stars lit up with deadly light. But the human ships didn't stop. They moved like sharks through the fire, precise, silent, deadly. Within 10 minutes, half the enemy ships were gone. In 20 minutes, Ravex 9's orbit station was in flames. The ground forces surrendered, but the Deathworlders didn't land. Instead, Kira's voice came over the comms. We have no interest in prisoners. We only remove threats. Leave now or be erased. Far away in a shadowed part of the galaxy, an ancient AI awoke. It had been built long ago, during the first human war. It was not made by humans. It was made to fight humans. Its code whispered one name again and again. Commander Kira. Target locked. Earth must never rise again. The AI activated old weapons. Ships lost in deep space turned on. A forgotten enemy had returned. Back aboard Kira's ship, the AI warned her. Multiple unknown hostiles detected in outer Sector D-15. Ships identified anti-human war units. Legacy code found. Kira's heart beat faster. They survived. She stared at the screen. These are the machines that tried to wipe us out. Confirmed, the AI said. They are coming. Kira clenched her fists. Then we will meet them. In the halls of the Galactic Council, panic spread again. The machines are rising, someone shouted. They're going to fight the Deathworlders for control. Zareth stood once more. Let them fight, he said, and pray neither wins. Back. In deep space, the two fleets finally met. On one side, Deathworlder ships black and cold, controlled by a child with the mind of a warrior. On the other, ancient killer machines, made by forgotten civilizations to destroy Earth once and for all. The battle was silent at first, then the stars exploded, thousands of drones clashed. Missiles flew in all directions. Black holes formed from unstable weapons. Entire moons were shattered, at the heart of it all. Kira stood, calm. She wasn't just fighting, she was clearing the road home. Inside her ship, a new message arrived. It, too, was not from Earth. It was from someone else. A voice Kira hadn't heard in over 300 years. Kira, if you are hearing this, it means we failed to return. Earth is hidden, protected by the Last Light Protocol. You must reach the beacon star. It will unlock the gate. Bring them home. Kira felt something in her chest, a memory of running through forests, of Earth's skies, of laughter. She whispered, I'm coming home. The battle ended. The machines were broken, but many Deathworlder ships were lost too. Kira looked at the remaining forces. We can't go back, she said, but we can go forward. And so the fleet moved again toward the beacon star, toward the gate, toward Earth. The stars grew quiet again. After the massive battle, many ships were gone, wrecked, floating, lost in deep space. The Deathworlder fleet had survived, but barely. Inside her warship, Commander Kira stood alone in the command center. Her eyes were locked on the star map ahead. She had one goal left, find Earth. And the answer lay in a place no one had dared to go for centuries, the beacon star. The beacon star was not just a star. It was an ancient, artificial sun built by humans long ago. Some said it was a warning. Others believed it was a gate, but no one had ever unlocked it, not until now. The fleet arrived at the edge of the beacon system. What they saw shocked even the AI. The star pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat, Around it floated a massive structure, a giant ring, broken in some places, glowing with deep blue lines. Final lock detected, the AI said. Last light protocol ready for activation. Kira stepped forward. Begin. Suddenly, the ship shook. Energy waves pulsed through space. The beacon responded to Kira's voice, her DNA, her very presence. Lights lit up across the broken ring. One by one, they joined together. Then, a hole opened in space. A wormhole. Not just to anywhere. To Earth. On Garetta 7, Captain Velrak and Garn watched from their ship's observation deck. They found it, Garn whispered. Velrak nodded. After all this time, they actually found Earth. But it's been over 300 years. What could still be there? Velrak said nothing. He didn't know. But deep down, he feared something worse than destruction. Silence. Back at the beacon gate, the wormhole swirled like a storm. Kira stared into it. She had waited her whole life, even while sleeping in cryo, out for this. Now, she would return home. Fleet, she ordered. Form up. Earth protocol is active. If there's anything left, we protect it. If not, we rebuild. The ships entered the gate, one by one, until only Kira's remained. She took one last look at the stars, then entered the light. On the other side, silence. The wormhole closed behind her. What she saw was not the Earth she remembered. It was dark. The planet was there, blue and green, but surrounded by massive rings of steel. Space stations, defense, grids and strange machines floated like ghosts. No signals detected, the AI reported. No life signs, no power. Earth systems offline. Kira's hands shook slightly. No, it can't be. She flew closer. The planet was whole, but empty. Landing in Earth orbit, Kira's ship connected to one of the silent stations. Inside, she found frozen halls untouched for centuries. Screens cracked, lights dead. Dust floated in zero gravity. In the control room, she found something strange. A chair, old, covered in vines that had grown through the metal. On the wall was a single line carved in human language. They were not ready for our return. She turned on the core systems. And then, something blinked. A single light, a message appeared on screen. If you are Kira, then Earth is not lost. We had to go deeper. Come below. We are still here. The AI responded instantly. New coordinates received. Location, Earth core bunker, Deep Site 9. Access restricted to Commander Kira only. Her heart raced. They were alive? After all this time? She flew down into Earth's atmosphere, faster than sound, through thick clouds and golden light. The planet was silent, but not dead. As she reached the hidden bunker, the ground opened slowly, revealing a deep tunnel lit by ancient blue lights. She stepped inside. Beneath Earth's surface, Kira walked through endless metal halls. Her boots echoed in the silence. At the end of the tunnel stood a large steel door. Her hand scanned. The door opened. Inside was a glowing chamber filled with people in cryosleep. Thousands of them. Men, women, children, the last humans. Not lost, just waiting. The AI whispered, "This is the legacy arc. Final survivors of Earth, hidden from all. Threats, waiting for you." Kira stepped forward, tears in her eyes. "I came home, and now, Earth could rise again." Inside the ancient bunker deep under Earth's surface, Commander Kira stood alone, surrounded by thousands of sleeping humans. This was the legacy arc, the final hope of her people. She pressed her hand against the cryo-control panel. "Begin awakening sequence," she whispered. The AI confirmed, "Cryo revival in process. Estimated time, 6 hours. Blue mist filled the chamber, lights turned green. The last humans were waking up. Above Earth, the Deathworlder fleet guarded the sky. Each ship had scars from war, each drone had seen fire. But now, the fleet had purpose, a reason to survive. Earth was alive. In the outer sectors of the galaxy, the Galactic Council watched in silence. Council leader Drovek spoke first. Earth is no longer a mystery. They're back. A younger officer said, "Should we attack while they're weak?" Zareth shook his head slowly. They are not weak. They are waiting. And soon, they will stand. He looked at the stars. And when they do, we should be far, far away. Back on Earth, the first people stepped out of cryo chambers. They were confused, afraid. Old uniforms, old minds. "Where are we?" one man asked. Kira stepped forward. "You are home." "But Earth fell, didn't it?" Kira nodded. "It almost did, but you were hidden, protected. And now, it's time to rise." The Earth's defense system slowly came back online. Old satellites blinked to life. Orbital stations opened their ports. Power flowed through ancient cables. The planet remembered, and the galaxy felt it from deep space. A warning came. The ancient machines were not all destroyed. One final war core, massive and powerful, was heading toward Earth. It carried old weapons, dark tech, a final chance to erase humanity. Kira stood on Earth's surface, staring at the sky. She didn't panic. She gave one simple order. "Prepare the final defense. Let them see what Earth can do." The human fleet moved into formation. AI-controlled drones launched, orbital cannons armed. But Kira had one more surprise. From the Earth's moon, a secret base opened. A giant ship rose. Black, silent, massive. The Terran Dawn, a ship made to defend Earth. It had never been used until now. The war core arrived like a shadow. It launched missiles, drones, and dark energy beams. But Earth answered, with fire, with speed, with rage. The Deathworlders had no mercy, no fear. The final battle lasted only 20 minutes. The war core fell, burning in Earth's sky like a second sun. The final threat was gone. Kira stood among the people of Earth, no longer a child. She was a symbol now, of survival, of fury, of hope. A scientist asked her, "What now?" She looked up at the stars. "Now we rebuild." And after that, she smiled. "We show the galaxy what it means to wake the Deathworlders." News of Earth's return spread fast. Some species bowed in respect. Others ran in fear. But one thing was clear. The galaxy would never be the same. Kira walked through the restored Earth forests. Birds flew overhead. Wind blew softly. But behind her, in the sky, warships waited. Silent guardians of a planet that refused to die. And far beyond, that sky stars trembled because Earth had returned and the Deathworlders were awake.